What's up, guys? Welcome to SeekTheGreatness.com, a channel that's all about applied self-investment. This is Kwaku, and we are getting ready to do day 6 of our 60-day copywriting breakdown. Okay, just so you know, I did my breakdown beforehand because I remember in the last videos I was trying to do it live, and I was like struggling through that, and then it was taking longer. So I don't want to waste anyone's time. I want to just get right into it because I've done my breakdown beforehand. So this is going to be much faster. But before we begin, as always, make sure you join the Copywriting Hacks, how to write copy and influence people. This is a great group. This is a group that got me started on the challenge, and I've been loving the challenge so far. So, and then also if you're a Black copywriter, because we need more Black copywriters out there, this is the Black Copywriter Coalition. So make sure you join this as well, because the owner, Donnie Bryan, he's a very, very good friend of mine, and he's trying to create the biggest, basically trying to create Black Agora. So we need Black copywriters out there. We're rooting for everyone, but we're also rooting for everyone Black, So shout out to all Black people. I love you all. Represent. Make sure you join the Black Copywriter Coalition. All right. Let's get back into the 60-day copywriting breakdown. Let's go. So the ad that we're breaking down is called, it's the Schlitz beer. It's the Claude Hopkins Schlitz beer ad. And it's a very, very short ad. And actually, funny story. The cool thing that was really cool story about this ad was it was one of the first ads to talk about demonstration. And you see it here and you learn about it here in Scientific Advertising. So if you haven't bought this book already, make sure you buy it. It's really, really interesting stuff. I'll tell you more about this story later after we do the breakdown. But let's get started. So this is the ad. We're going to break it down. So this is the Claude Hopkins Schlitz beer ad. As always, we're going to start with the 4 U's. So is the headline urgent? No, it just says perfection for 50 years. So who is that urgent to? Not really a strong headline. Useful. Is the headline useful? No, it doesn't denote how the perfection of 50 years is useful to other people, or it doesn't qualify anyone. Okay, so not useful in that sense. Is it unique? I say it's unique in the sense that the product has been perfected for 50 years and it creates some kind of curiosity. And is it ultra specific? Yeah, a little bit. Like I give it a 1 out of 4 for unique, 1 out of 4 for ultra specific, because it's like the perfection of 50 years. 50 years is a long time to perfect something. So you want to know what that is. It does create some curiosity. So let's move on to the rule of 1. Does the headline have a focal point? Is the headline connected to the lead? Yeah, it has a focal point, and then it goes on to talk about the perfection of 50 years. So after the headline, it says perfection of 50 years. Back of each glass of Schlitz beer, there is an experience of 50 years. So continues. That is the focal point, and it continues from there. And the one sentence summary, like if I could summarize the big idea of this ad, it's like the beer that's finally perfected through process and quality of 50 years. So that is basically the big idea of the ad. So awareness, is the approach of the copy direct or direct? I would say it's direct because the readers are probably looking for a beer that doesn't make them sick. They're looking for a quality beer. They want a quality beer, and they're also aware of Schlitz. They're aware of Schlitz that has been around, because this is a beer company that's been making beer for 50 years. I wouldn't say it's indirect at all. My theory that it's direct. So moving on, what lead is being used? I say it's the story lead. All right, and it goes on to say, back of each glass of Schlitz beer, there is an experience of 50 years. In 1848, in the hut, Joseph Schlitz began brewing, and the story goes on from there. So it's definitely a story ad. It was telling you how he brewed 1848 in the hut story. And now we move on to the next checklist section. PAS, problem, agitate, solve, solution. So problem, is the problem that your product service solves easily identified? Yes, the ad talks about their painstaking process. They talk about the quality and purity in their beer that their consumer might be looking for. So basically, like We take time making our beer because we care about quality, perfection, and your health. It's not beer that will make you sick, because that was a problem in the 20s. Like, people were drinking beer because the beer wasn't sterilized enough, and people were getting sick. Uh, we send experts to Bohemia to select. So that's more proof. We send experts to Bohemia to select for us the best hops in the world. So cleanliness is not carried to greater extremes in any kitchen than here. So again, talking about the problem of like beer not being clean and all that stuff. So that's the problem that it was talking about. So agitate. Does the copy poke at the reader's pain points? Yes, definitely. The copy stokes fear about the consumer's health and what type of beer he should be drinking. Okay, so drink our beer because we age beer for months in refrigerating rooms before it goes out. Otherwise, Schlitz beer would cause biliousness as common beer does. And I had to look up this word biliousness or biliousness, and it was the image of like, and it talks about like either biosecretion of bile, vomiting, and feces and stuff like that. So very, very disgusting image. So I didn't want that. Definitely strokes fear into the image of the reader, you know, or another way is it strikes fear into your heart a little bit, is like, ask for beer and you get the beer that suits your dealer. You may care more for his profit than your health, which was true, because people are drinking a lot of shitty beer that made them sick in the 1920s. So, or I think in the 1800s, whatever. Solution. Does the copy identify clearly that there is a solution to the reader's problem and that you are the person capable of helping them solve that problem? So, yes, they talk about the process and proof behind their perfection. So, like, all beer is cooled in plate glass rooms in filtered air, then the beer is filtered, then it is sterilized after being bottled and sealed. We age beer for months in refrigerating room before it goes out. So, again, they're showing you the painstaking process they take to make their beer quality and safe to drink. So moving on to the next process of checklist. Does your headline grab the reader by the eyeballs only through curiosity? Other than that, no. So I said no, not. It doesn't really speak to the target prospect. It's kind of vague in that sense. Does it still curiosity? Yes, a little bit. 50 years of perfection for, because it's like 50 years of perfection of what for what? Is there a big promise? Absolutely. Like this, that you'll be drinking the perfect quality, safe beer. Does the lead expand on the headline? So does the lead? Yes. So back of each glass of Schlitz beer, there is an experience of 50 years. That's what it goes on to say that. Does the opening reinforce the promised benefit? Yes, because it says our principles are 50 years old, our aims are unaltered. Um, this is what we do. We've been making quality beer for 50 years. Does the opening continue to arouse curiosity in the reader? I say not really, unless you want to know what led to the process of 50-year perfection. It does that a little bit in that regard. So it does stoke some curiosity, just a little bit. Does the copy establish credibility? Is the copy believable? I say yes. They provide numerous details about how they get the ingredients for their beer and how they brew it. For example, we send experts to Bohemia to select the best hops. All beer is cooled in plate glass. We covered that. What does the copy do to prove to the reader that you're a credible person or authority who should be paid attention to? So, yeah, again, the writer is uh, written out how they've gone to lengths to get the best ingredients, and how they also they perfect the beer, and how they give you demonstration of how they make the beer and how they make it safe. So that would show your credibility and show your, like, what you're talking about. It makes the copy believable and safe to invest in. Does the copy offer a bribe? Is there a bribe in place to convince the reader they must read on? No, I mean, not really, but sort of. The perfection of 50 years does create an open loop, because I was asking myself, like, perfection of 50 years for what? And then that made me want to read on for more. The 8 useful components to look for. Is the offer promise new? No, just buy our beer. Pretty straightforward. Is the offer promise unique? I mean, yes, buy the beer that has been crafted for over 50 years, and won't make you sick or jeopardize your health. That's big promise, big claim, kind of unique and new in itself. Um, is the offer promise safe to invest in? Not really. Like, you have to take their word for it and buy their beer. But they've been doing this for 50 years, so um, yeah, it is safe to invest in. I should not forget that. They've been doing this for 50 years, so definitely they know what they're talking about, and it's safe. And people, I'm sure people have a following. At that point, they have a following in our market. Is the offer promise easy to use, implement? Yeah, it's a simple magazine ad, and it's a very very simple offer as well. You know, is the offer promise simple to use, implement? Yes. They literally just, it's an ad in the magazine. Is the offer promise fast to deliver results? Yes. You just buy the beer. You ask for the beer. It's a simple ad. Is the offer promise providing results that are predictable? Yes. It's money for a safe quality beer. Is the offer promise providing something big? Yes, perfected beer that is safe for consumption. Ask for Schlitz and you get the best beer the world ever knew. Straight up. Does the copy provide proof for every promise and claim made? Yes. We send experts to Bohemia to select the best hops in the world for us. All beer is cooled in plate glass rooms. Again, those are the claims that it's making. Does the copy use picture words to provide a snapshot of the reader in the future, benefiting from having bought and used your product or service? Yes. The image of drinking quality made and filtered beer also shows the image of a quality person who cares about their health and their, like, and likes to align themselves with quality. And also, you don't want to be drinking shitty beer that makes you sick. So, moving on. Can you identify exactly when the offer is being made? Yeah. Ask for Schlitz and you get the best beer the world ever knew. Literally, the copy is just telling you to ask, right here. Ask, ask for Schlitz right at the bottom. Um, does the copy reduce the risk to the reader? I said no, but I don't even know why I said no. I mean, it tells you that, like, we've done all this to make our beer safe, so it's safe for consumption. So it's like, but then I said no because you have to take their word for it if you, or I don't know. But then the market is already there. They've been doing this for 50 years, so I'm sure that they they know what they're doing. Like, they're credible, and that reduces the risk to the reader. Is the call to action asking for the sale clear and concise? We did go through that. Ask for Schlitz and you get the best beer the world ever knew. Does the copy summarize the offer towards the end? It doesn't need to. It's already very simple and clear enough. Ask for Schlitz. It's right at the bottom. So that is the copy breakdown. And now the biggest takeaway from this ad, right? What I learned about this ad was I'm going to tell you the story. I'm going to expand on more about what I was talking about with this story. Um, the biggest takeaway for this ad, the reason why this ad was so successful, because it was the first to talk about, one of the first ads to talk about demonstration of how they make their beer in an ad, right? You know, purity is made imperative. All beer is cooled in plate glass rooms and filtered air. That alone was just like, and this was what the book was talking about, because he said, Claude Hopkins, when he wrote this ad, he was talking about, like, what they were doing, like, the process of them making the beer wasn't unique. All other companies did that, but they never talked about it. They were the first to talk about it, and then they were also the first to sterilize, one of the first to sterilize their beer during in the 1848s. They were the first to sterilize it, so people weren't getting sick of, like, drinking shitty beer that wasn't sterilized and stuff like that when people are trying to brew beer and shit. So they were the first to show you how it was made, how they did it. So that's the power of demonstration. If you can show how an ad works, if you can demonstrate it, it definitely increases your conversion tenfold. So that's the story that he was talking about in scientific advertising. And this is the first time I actually seen the ad. In this book, he talks about the ad, but now I'm seeing it, and then now I see where the demonstration is coming from, like how they made the beer. So interesting stuff. Cool story, bro. All right, But if you enjoyed this breakdown, please like, share, and subscribe. And again, before you leave, make sure you join the Copywriting Hacks, how to write copy and influence people. They're always putting out challenges like this. And this is what made me join the 60-day copywriting breakdown and challenge. So I've been having a lot of fun with it, and I've already seen myself improve. Also, if you're Black, join the Black Copywriter Coalition. Again, we need more Black copywriters out there. We're trying to create, Black Agora. And Donnie Bryan is trying to just uplift all Black copywriters in this field. So yeah, we're rooting for everyone, but we're also rooting for everyone Black. We love you. We're always trying to represent. So again, make sure you join this group. This is Kweku. I love you all, and remember to seek the greatness within you. Peace.